Ready? Final race here out of Kalgoorlie. Race 7 is the Hans Super Dry Handicap. Crashane, you've been in rare form today. 2 from 2 for our Sky Thoroughbred Central audience so far. Who are you with here in the last?
With one of the favourites, Who Be Watty, and from the Pierce Racing camp, bringing this one up this weekend. I'm with it because it's a progressive looking type. We'll cast our eyes over it very shortly, but there's some nice horses in this, and Californication is exactly that. So it'll have to be at its best, Who Be Watty, because Californication is a star from the Goldfields.
He is. He looks that way anyway. Really good run first up. Dominant winner second up, and he's $3.40 into $2.10 favouritism in this race, Californication. Let's look at them. Horse 1 is Gerard Joseph for Nick Thomas, and Cassie Martinen looking to end the day with a race-to-race double. She takes off 2 kilos.
Yeah, with those red earmuffs on, walking around quite relaxed. Good solid run first up in the state, sat rearwards and picked a few off in the run home. Big weight, even with the claim, and wide gate to contend with. You expect him to be back and be running home. Look, I'd be on this horse when he gets out to a mile, Gerard Joseph, but he looks well.
You're on top of Crashane. 2, Who Be Watty, $3.30 chance. Sell us on him.
Well, as we said, Michael, progressive type. He's lightly raced, only had the 5 starts, a win and 2 seconds. And he's by that Vert Decree. It worries me a little bit, the grey, but quite dappled up and quite relaxed. But the Vert Decree, they've got the good progeny behind them, but they can put in a couple of wrong-uns from time to time. We saw Princess Chunk, one of those. He a lot of ability, but they can throw in some wrong-uns. But Who Be Watty from the gate, barrier number 3, will have 60 kilos, so it's got to be up there on the speed. And we've seen those ones that race close to the pace today with the rail out 4 metres on a good surface that has been favourable.
Tash Faithful rides Who Be Watty for Dan and Ben Pearce. 3 is our favourite, Californication. Paul Rowe and Lisa Staples combined, fresh off a really dominant win last start.
Yeah, on its toes. We were just talking about in the pre-race commentary there. Kalgoorlie usually unearths a nice type, and this is one, Californication, preferment 3-year-old. He's a big, robust galloper, and think that he'll only get better with racing. And be interesting if they stretch him out over ground, Californication. Plenty of upside and plenty of market support into $2 being, or even less than that now. The only query I can see with Californication is a big horse and just doesn't want to be lost in traffic. He needs clear galloping room, but he's clearly the one to beat. And there he is there.
Here is Paul Rowe as well, the trainer of Californication. Hello to you, Paul. We'll grab you on the hop here. You must have been really pleased with the win last start. How's he trained on since then?
Excellent, yeah. No, can't fault him. I think he's improved again.
Yep. So all things going well, the 1400 metres today, the same track distance as what he won over. Coming up to a Class 2, you expecting him to be hard to beat?
I do, yeah. Yeah, we really think he'll be hard to beat here again.
New Zealand bred, do you think he'll stretch out over further?
Yeah, he gives you the impression he will. Yeah, that, his sire, as you probably know, didn't win till he got to 2,000 metres, and he gives you the same impression that he's sort of be liking that once he gets up in that range.
All right, looks a nice horse. Best of luck.
All right, thanks, mate.
There is Paul Rowe, trainer of the favourite Californication. Looks a really good chance here. What about the 4 making profits? Peter Fernie looking for his 4th winner on the card. Winkers go on. Chris Parnham goes on.
Yeah, he's a grinder, making profits. He'll stay all day. Drops back from 1760 to 1400, which is a lot more suitable for making profits. Can go forward. With 59, again, another one with the weight on his shoulders, so keep safe.
Another Peter Fernie runner is the 5, Sendham, Jordan Turner in the saddle.
Yeah, a bit plain last start. He drawn wide and does show gate speed, but from out there, may have to go back today. And with weight, so for mine, not today for Sendham.
6, Free Solo, a $7 chance in from, he's drifted now. He was 6 at one stage. He's now 9 into 6, out to $9.50 with Lakdar Rumley in the saddle.
Yeah, he's been around the money, just hasn't nailed one. I thought he may have last few starts, but for Free Solo, if he can be handier to the speed from gate 4 for Romilly aboard, he's definitely not out of this. I mean, 3 starts ago, 1.5 lengths to Filthy Habits. Last start to Secret Identity, only beaten 2 and he was charging home. So you can make a case.
The 7 is Changman. Trevor Tasker's elected for the blinkers today. Keshor Duran retains the ride.
Yeah, hasn't shown much impression there, Michael. The couple of starts it's had on this track, so prefer others.
8 Vancouver Lad is another outsider, Helen Harding and Brandon Louis.
Well, better run last start here over the 1400. Only beaten 3 lengths, and we saw glimpses of what we saw of it last season. A nice strapping looking type, Vancouver Lad.
Scratch the 9 by Felicia. Unfortunately, no suitable rider available, so we go to the 10 Deliberation. Nev Newton and Vic Corver.
Yeah, third up in the preparation and has improved at each of its first up runs. 1400 last start, only beaten less than 3 lengths to Secret Identity. And drawn a gate down in the weights, Deliberation, so can make a case. He has won over further ground, Deliberation.
Rank outsider is the 11 Tempest Mist, Paul Tapper, Christy Bennett.
Yeah, 16 starts, 1 win, gate 1 for Tempest Miss with those red earmuffs on over to the gates, but others better.
Just under 3 minutes remaining of betting time. 3 Californication. We got a good push there from Paul Rowe, and you can understand why. It looks a really nice progressive horse for the Goldfields. $3.40 into $2.05. This has been a pretty good go. Hoobie Waddy is out the other way with that support for Californication. $3.20 out to $3.90. Hoobie Waddy making profits $5.50 out to $8. Send 'em $8.50 to $9. Free Solo solid at $9. Gerard Joseph 11 to 19. Changman a little bit of support 40 to 1 to 26. Deliberation 18 to 26. Vancouver Lad out to $34. Tempest Miss 70 to 1. Which way are you going?
Yeah, well, they've really avalanched into Californication, haven't they, Michael? That's big money over a 24-hour period. So, and we, as we said, there's always some really nice horse that comes out of Kalgoorlie once a year, and obviously by all reports and what we've seen to date, only the 2 starts, a win and a second. This is that horse for this season, Californication. Look, I've put it in for second, but I'll probably be spitting chips after the race. I think Hoobie Waddy, I've just with that progressiveness and the fact that it's come off recent racing at Belmont Park, but just behind Duchess of Gossip, which we know goes well. I've put it in to score just narrowly from Californication, and I think it's a really good Quinella. They're both hot in the market, and with the big weights, they've got to be up on the speed. We've seen it the last 2-3 races that those runners with big weights, they've been sent forward. You can still win outside the leader, but just on this track today and with that wind, you've got to be up on the speed. And Hoobie Waddy from Californication making profits, another one that will grind all day. He's a staying type, I think back to 1400 suits, and Free Solo best of the rest. Gerard Joseph, I think he'd be looking for a mile, and did present very well indeed as well. So I thought 2, 3, 4 and 6 in the lucky last out of Kalgoorlie, Michael. 2, 3, 4 and 6. Hoobie Waddy out to $4.20. I think that's a pretty backable price of what he's shown to date in the metro and provincial area. Californication into $2.05, trimmed up even further since the last market check. They're still just milling behind the barriers at the moment, but they'll be loading very shortly. And as Californication goes into even money, so $2 has continued to trim up throughout this preview, has been the recipient of good backing, has had the backing of trainer Paul Rowe as well, off a really strong last start win. Here's Royce Newton for the call of the last.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Chris Shane. These runners have come forward quickly. Californication, this even money favourite. Thanks, Stu. Yes, the favourite just coming forward now. Californication, even money. Exciting type 1, 2. Looking for 2 from 3. So we're set. Stand by. Red lights blink away. Signal given, and the gates fly back. Deliberation stood there and missed the start. Likewise with Jared Joseph, who goes back towards the tail. With early speed, it was Macon Profits who goes towards the lead, together with Hoobie Waddy and Tempest Miss, who settles down on the fence. They were followed by Californication. The favourite got into a perfect position on the outside of the grey Free Solo. Then Deliberation, who's railed through after that sluggish start. The outside then to Changman, followed by Sendham, who's only got 2 behind him, including Vancouver Lad and Jared Joseph. So, onto the side of the course, Macon Profits, making every post a winner. Shows out by 2.5 lengths. Tempest Mist, Hoobie Waddy, well in the market 3rd. Likewise, Californication at even money 4th. Then Deliberation 5th down on the fence. They were followed by Free Solo, Changman, Sendham, Vancouver Lad, and last of all, Jared Joseph. Macon Profits with 450 metres to run. Shows the way by 1.5 lengths. Tempest Miss on the improve on the inside. Then came Hoobie Waddy, who's asked to improve. Californication peels off heels now. Deliberation shuffled back on the fence. Then came Free Solo between runners. Sendham. Further back then Jared Joseph. And last of all Vancouver Lad. It's Macon Profits past the 200. But here's Californication. Californication. Hoobie Waddy picking up the bit again. Hoobie Waddy in between runners. Californication the outside. Good go here. Hoobie Waddy gets the nose in front. They go to the line. Oh, give it to the outside. Californication, I think. I think Californication in the final strides defeated Hoobie Waddy. Photo Miners send them there with also Macon Profits. Fantastic finish to the last from Kalgoorlie. Then Tempest Miss, followed by Free Solo, Vancouver Lad. Then in was Jared Joseph, Changman and Deliberation, one of the last. Californication, it's gone into the frame. Number 3 has lifted. Californication, Lisa Staples bookends the card, and Californication makes it 2 from 3. Number 3, Californication, at start number 3 has brought up his 2nd win, and I tell you what, Hoobie Waddy sort of looked like he was yielding ground and then has come back once again, but Californication's got up and it's more than a nose, a short half head, and a nice galloper here in the making. 3 beats 2, that's Hoobie Waddy. 4 gets 3rd, Macon Profits, who
Sort of come on into it reasonably same as he did the meeting before, but he did sit 3 deep, which was a bit of a worry, but yeah, he was still big enough, strong enough to get around it and get over it and get over the line.
What's the story with this horse? By a New Zealand stallion out of a New Zealand mare. Where did you get him from?
We purchased him through one of the English sales, I think around October last year, towards the end of the season. It was unraced, untrialled. He came from the Danny O'Brien stable, so he'd been fully educated, but for whatever reason, we don't know, they opted not to even trial him or go on with him. So we picked him up nice and cheap, and so far it's worked out pretty good.
Absolutely. Only a 3-year-old, just happy to work your way through the Kalgoorlie grades, or could you eye off a Perth race perhaps in the near future?
Yeah, maybe. We'll just see how he pulls up. You know, he's got to have a few weeks off at some stage, so yeah, we'll see how he pulls up today and make a plan.
How many do you have in work at the moment?
Only the 2.
Yep.
Nice.
Well, it's easy to get up for a horse like this. Well done.
It is. No worries. Thanks.
There is Paul Rowe, trainer of Californication, goes back to back, building up a nice record. 3 starts, 2 wins. Our Sky Thoroughbred Central audience, Krishane, are off to the next at Singapore. Thank you for your contribution. 2 from 3 on STC. Not too bad, Krishane. We'll give you that one. But our Sky Thoroughbred Central audience, hopefully back a winner in the next at Singapore.